Section 60 of the Endeavour Journal of Sir Joseph Banks. Journal from 25 August 1768 to 12 July 1771 by Joseph Banks. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Gail Timmerman Vaughan. Section 60, April 1771. 1771, April 3. French vessels. Theodosio, seaman, died very suddenly. He had enjoyed an uninterrupted state of good health during all our times of sickness. 1771, April 7. The Europa Indiaman Captain Pelly came into the bay. Of the 4 French vessels which we found in this harbour, 3 are now sailed, and the 4th is ready for sea. Of them, 2 were 64-gun ships, the other a large snow, and the 4th, which still remains, a frigate. All these came from the Ile-de-France for provision, of which they carry away from hence a prodigious quantity, and consequently must have many mouths to feed upon that island, from whence it is probable they meditate some stroke at our East Indian settlements in the beginning of a future war, which however our India people are not at all alarmed at, trusting entirely to the vast standing armies which they constantly keep up, the support of which in the Bengal alone costs £840,000 a year. M. de Bougainville, pleased with the beauty of the ladies of Tahiti, gave that island the name of Cypre. In his return home he touched at Ile-de-France, where the person who went out with him, in the character of natural historian, was left and still remains. Otoroo, the Indian, whom he brought from thence, was known on board his ship by the name of Tuutavi, a plain corruption of Bougainville, with whom it may be supposed he meant to change names, according to his custom. This man is now at l'Ile-de-France, from whence a large ship is very soon to sail and carry him back to his own country, where she is to make a settlement, in doing which she must necessarily follow the tract of Abel Janssen Tasman, and consequently, if she does not discover Cook's Straits, which in all probability she will do, must make several discoveries on the coast of New Zealand. Thus much the French, who were here made no secret of. How necessary, then, will it be for us to publish an account of our voyage as soon as possible after our arrival, if we mean that our own country shall have the honour of our discoveries. Should the French have published an account of M. de Bougainville's voyage before that of the second Dolphin, how infallibly will they claim the discovery of Cypre or Otaheite as their own, and treat the Dolphins having seen it as a fiction, which we were enabled to set forth with some show of truth, as the Endeavour really did see it, a 12-month, however, after M. de Bougainville, which if England chooses to exert her prior claim to it, as she may hereafter do, if the French settle, it may be productive of very disagreeable consequences. See account of Cape of Good Hope below. 1771, April 14. Sailed from the road, but having very little wind were obliged to anchor abreast of Robben Island. 1771, April 15. In the morn it was quite calm, so a boat was hoisted out in order to land on the island, in hopes of purchasing some refreshments, especially of garden stuff and salating, with which 2 articles it is said to abound. But as soon as the boat came near the shore, the Dutch hailed her, and told the people in her at their peril to attempt landing, bringing down at the same time 6 men with muskets, who paraded on the beach as long as she stayed, which was but a short time, not thinking it worth while to risk landing, in opposition to them, when a few cabbages was the only reward to be expected. This island, which is named after the seals that formerly used to frequent it, called in Dutch Robben, is low and sandy, situate in the mouth of Table Bay. Here are confined such criminals as are judged not worthy of death, for terms of years proportioned to the heinousness of their crimes. They are employed as slaves in the company's service, chiefly in digging for limestone, which, though very scarce upon the continent, is plentiful here. Their reason for not letting foreigners land here is said to be this. Formerly, a Dutch ship, which by sickness had lost the greatest part of her crew, came into the Cape and asked for assistance, which being refused, she came down to this island, and sending her boats ashore, secured the guard, and took on board as many of the criminals as she thought proper to navigate the ship home. In the evening we had a fair breeze of wind, with which we put to sea. This night M. Molyneux, master of the ship, died. 1771, April 16. In the course of this day we took our final farewell of the tableland, having a pleasant breeze and fair. 1771, April 17. Many birds, such as albatrosses and some shearwaters, were about the ship, also many pieces of trumpet weed floating by. 1771, April 18. Moderate weather, but a great rolling sea from the southward. 1771, April 19. Got the wind at northwest right in our teeth. Not strong, however. 1771, April 20. Wind and weather continuing just as yesterday. 1771, April 21. Got the wind again astern, with pleasant weather, which already altered much for the warmer. 1771, April 23. Foul wind again. Very veerable. 1771, April 25. Crossed the tropic this day with a fresh breeze of wind at southwest. So far we are unlucky, not having as yet met with the trade wind, which ships in general meet at latitude 30 at this time of the year, as we have been told. 1771, April 26. Saw 2 sternas, probably blown off from the coast of Africa, though they seem little to regard this ship, but flew towards the sea. In the even Dr. Solander and several more heard a noise rumbling like distant thunder, which was in general supposed to be a gun from some ship not in sight. The doctor, however, thought that its duration was considerably longer than that of a gun fired in the open sea, where there is no echo. 1771, April 27. A large shoal of whales passed us today, who seemed to keep a pretty regular course, nearly in the same direction as the ship. 1771, April 28. This day we crossed our first meridian and completed the circumnavigation of the globe, in doing which we as usual lost a day, which I should upon this occasion have expended properly had I not lost it the second time, I know not how, in my irregular journal at the Cape. End of section 60, April 1771.